Hello friends, welcome back to my channel English Wave. My name is Gurbhesh Ram and I hope you are doing well. And before I start discussing the next paragraph, I want to thank you for supporting me by watching my previous videos. If you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please subscribe it. Press the bell icon to have notifications on new updates. So let's start the video. Today we are going to discuss second passage of Academic Reading Test 2 from the Cambridge 1, and the title of the passage is Migratory Beekeeping. So let's discuss. So first of all, let me assign the numbers to the paragraph. So we have 7 paragraphs in the passage. So in the questions 13 to 19, we are given the flow chart based on the beekeeper movements. And we are supposed to complete the flow chart by putting the information from our passage. So first of all, I'll note down some keywords so that we could find out the locations of the answers from the passage. Let's do it. So in March, beekeepers dash for migration at night when the hives are dash. So here writer is talking about migration of the bees or movements of the bees in the month of March. So what happens in the March? Let's find out in the passage. So here's our keyword, by early March. Read the 4th paragraph. It is time to move the bees. Move means migrate. It can take up to 7 nights to pack the 4,000 or so hives that a beekeeper may own. These are not moved in the middle of the day because too many of the bees would end up homeless. But at night the hives are stacked onto wooden pallets and packed to back in sets of 4 and lifted onto a truck. So it is necessary to wear gloves or bookkeeper's wheel because the hives are not being opened, and the bees should remain relatively quiet. Just in case some are still lively, bees can be pacified with a few puffs of smoke blown into each hive's narrow entrance. So what is all about this paragraph? The preparation is going on to migrate the bees in this whole paragraph. So let's find out the answer for this from the given list of words. So as we know that bookkeepers here is a subject, and after subject we are supposed to put the verb here. So we look for the verb in the given words. So here is the word prepare. Prepare is itself, it's a word here. So our answer would be prepare. And I'll strike through this word, prepare. And I'll put prepare here. Let's look for the next question. For migration at night when the hives are dash and the bees are generally tranquil. Hives are dash. So for this, read the same paragraph, 4th paragraph. These are not moved in the middle of the day because too many of the bees would end up homeless. Means if we will move the bees in daytime, so many bees would remain out of their hives. So it would be best to move them in night time, as all the bees remain in the hives and ultimately hives are full that time. So our answer would be full. Here it is. So I'll strike through this word, and so when the hives are full and bees are generally tranquil, a little dash can ensure that this is the case. Let's find out in the passage. Read the same paragraph from it is necessary to wear gloves or beekeeper's wheel because the hives are not being opened and the bees should remain relatively quiet. So for this quiet word, tranquil word is used in question. Just in case some are still lively, bees can be pacified with a few puffs of smoke. how bees can be pacified with the puffs of smoke blown into each hive's narrow entrance. Now we got to know how the bees are pacified. So let's put the answer. So as the bees are generally tranquil, a little dash can ensure that this is the case. So little smoke. Smoke is here. Smoke is our answer. So I'll strike through. So I'll put smoke here. Let's find out next question. They transport their hives to orange groves where farmers dash beekeepers for placing them on their land. Farmers dash beekeepers means we are supposed to find out the relation between farmers and beekeepers. Let's find out in the passage. Read the 5th paragraph. In their new location, the beekeeper will pay the farmers to allow his bees to feed in such places as orange groves. Means we got to know that beekeepers will pay the farmers. Generally, beekeepers pay the farmers to allow his bees to feed in such places. Let's find out in the words. Pay. See, although some of the words in the box may seem to fit in the gaps, but they have incorrect meaning. Your summary must be an accurate reflection of what is being stated in the passage. So if you put the pay here, it makes opposite sense. Means where farmers pay beekeepers. That is not the case. So we have to look for other word. Charge. This is our answer. I'll strike through this. Farmers charge beekeepers. So I'll put charge here. Let's move to the next question. After 3 weeks, the supers can be taken to a warehouse where dash are used to remove the wax and extract the honey from the dash. Where dash are used to remove the wax and extract the honey. Now simply we are supposed to find out what is simply used to remove the wax and extract the honey from the hives. Obviously hives. Let's find out in the passage. So let's read the 6th paragraph. The supers are taken to a warehouse. In the extracting room, the frames are lifted out and lowered into an uncapper, where rotating blades shave away the wax and that covers each cell. The uncapped frames are put in a carousel that sits on the bottom of the large stainless steel drum. The carousel is filled to a capacity with 72 frames. A switch is flipped and the frames begin to whirl at 300 revolutions per minute. Centrifugal force throws the honey out of the combs. Finally, the honey is poured into barrel for shipment. So these uncapper and carousel is just type of instruments that are used to extract the honey from the hives. Let's find out any word that is related to these type of instruments. Yes, machines. Machines is the word. So this is our answer. I'll strike through. And I'll put machine here. Are used to remove the wax and extract the honey from the dash. From where we are supposed to extract the honey. Let's find out the answer. See the last line of the same paragraph. Centrifugal force throws out the honey out of the combs. Honey out of combs. It was a bit easy. So our answer would be combs. So I'll cross here. Put combs here. Let's move to the next question. After the honey collection, the old hives are rejected. Good double hives are dashed and requeened and the beekeeper transports them to summer base. Double hives. We have to find out double hives. Read the 7th paragraph. To create new colonies, a healthy double hive teeming with bees can be separated into 2 boxes. Separated. Separated means to split into 2 boxes. So what happens with the double hives? We are supposed to put in the answer. Let's put it. Yes, this is our word. Split. So I'll put split here. Good double hives are split and requeened. So for questions 20 to 23, we are supposed to label the diagram. Below, choose 1 or 2 words from the reading passage. So for labeling the diagram, we have to understand the construction of this beehive. So the full description is given in the later part of the paragraph 5. Let's try to comprehend it. Let's start understanding the lines from here. The beekeepers open the hives and stack extra boxes called suppers on the top. So the topmost part of this chamber is supper. So these temporary hive extensions contain frames of empty comb. So this supper contains frames of empty comb. So these are the frames, and we got the answer of 21. That is frames. So in the brood chamber below, the bees will stash honey to eat later. Brood chamber below means below there is a brood chamber. So this is our brood chamber, and we got the answer of 23. That is brood chamber, where bees stash the honey for eating later. So to prevent the queen from crawling up to the top and laying eggs, a screen can be inserted between the brood chamber and the suppers. 3 weeks later, the honey can be gathered. So we got to know from the paragraph there is a screen between suppers and brood chamber. So this is our screen, and we got the answer of 22nd. That is screen. And we are remaining with only one answer, that is 20th. So for 20th, we have line here, frames of empty comb. Frames of empty comb means frames contain empty combs. So these are the combs of empty frames. So our answer for the 20th is combs. So we have successfully labeled the diagram. So let's move to the next type of question, questions 24 to 27. Do the following statements agree with the information? Yes, the statement agree with the information given. No if contradicts the information. Not given if there is no information about this. So first 24th question, the Egyptians keep bees on the banks of the Nile. Nile is the name of the river which originates from equator and flows throughout the northern Africa and Egypt and eventually drained into the Mediterranean Sea. It's the world's longest waterway. Let's find out in the passage. For this, read second paragraph. Migratory beekeeping is nothing new. The ancient Egyptians moved clay hives, probably on rafts, down the Nile to follow the bloom and nectar flow as it moved towards Cairo. In the 1880s, North American beekeepers experimented with the same idea. So we know that Egyptians moved clay hives on rafts down the Nile to follow bloom, but we are not sure that whether they used to keep the hives on the banks of the river or not. So our answer would be not given. So let's put not given here. First attempts at migratory beekeeping in America were unsuccessful. Let's find out in the passage. So North American bookkeepers experimented with the same idea, moving bees on barges along the Mississippi and on waterways in Florida. Mississippi is also a river which flows in Florida. But their lighter wooden hives kept falling into the river. So it shows the act was unsuccessful. Other keepers tried the railroad and horse-drawn wagons, but that didn't prove practical. This also shows that the whole action was unsuccessful. Means the first action by the North Americans were to migrate the bees was unsuccessful. Let's put the answer. So our answer would be yes. Question number 26. Bees keep honey for themselves in the bottom of the hive. This is the simplest question. Let's find out in the passage. We have already studied these lines that in the brood chamber below, the bees will stash honey to eat later. Means bees preserve the honey to eat later. Let's put the answer. So bees keep honey for themselves in the bottom of the hive. So outrageously yes. So I'll put yes. We are winning with only last question. The honey is spun to make it liquid. Spun means to revolve. So let's find out the answer in the passage. Study the last part of the 6th paragraph. A switch is flipped and the frames begin to whirl at 300 revolutions per minute. Centrifugal force throws the honey out of the combs. So it shows that honey is not spun to make it liquid. In fact, it is spun to extract it out of the combs. So answer should be no. Let's put the answer. So the answer is no. So finally, let's discuss some important words from the passage. So our first word is bloom. Bloom means when the flower yield, when the flowers come to their final stage. That is the bloom of the flowers. Blooming season means the time when flowers bloom. Let's move on to next word. So our next word is bonanza. Bonanza means a sudden happening that brings good fortune. Let's move on to the next word. Stash. Stash honey. Stash means to deposit, or we can say secretly store the valuable things, or secretly store the valuable things for the future use. This is the meaning of stash. So bees usually stash the honey for their future use. Let's move on to the last word, that is teeming with. Teeming with means abundantly filled with, especially with the living things. That is the meaning of teeming with. So that's all for this video. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel, share with all your friends. Keep learning with me. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.